February 6th. It's Monday at 3 o'clock, and my name is Colleen Light, and I am with Cards by Coco. For those of you who don't know, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you from a small town in Southwest Washington. I come on every Monday on the YouTube. Oh, let's scoot this up a little bit. At 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I go live on Facebook Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Anyway, welcome to Case the Catalog Monday. For those of you who are new, you will know that I tend to case the catalog for my first card that I make. Anytime I use a new stamp set. And I always like to share the dimensions I came up with you. So I hope I'm in screen. Leave me a comment if you're catching the replay, if you're watching live. Let me know if you are catching the replay. Let me know. Please leave a comment or subscribe. So Silly Goose, how cute is this? Now you're going to find this in our mini catalog. Oh, let me get to the right page here. Oh my goodness. The mini catalog. And I just lost my place. So let's just stroll through on page 27. So I love the sentiments in this. It's a Silly Goose told me it's your birthday. This Silly Goose forgot. That one I'm sure was made for me. You've got a friend in me. Goosebumps. Sending gaggles of good wishes. Thanks. Sending a big honkin' thanks. I think that one is so cute. And I'm here from you. And look at this birthday one. Look at that birthday goose. How cute is that? Anyway, so I cased the catalog, like I said, and using the Country Gingham 6x6 designer series paper. Let me show you this. And so on this side, we have our mint and we have our balmy blue. And then you flip it over. And you have your sweet sorbet, and I want to say that's petal pink. Let me double check myself. It is petal pink. So super cute paper. It comes in 6x6 inches, and you get how many pieces of, you get 48 pieces of paper. So great deal there. This is my February host code, and these are the dimensions for the card. I will have everything blogged. cardsbycoco.com. I will have everything blogged by the end of the day, but for those of you who don't want to bounce over to the blog post, by all means, take a quick screenshot before I scooch it out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and make today's card using the, what colors? Sweet sorbet. I don't know why I always want to call it sweet strawberry, because that is not the name. It is sweet sorbet. We're going to do a little bit of coloring today. So my challenge to myself this year actually was to kind of stretch my stamping wings. Sorry, needed a sip of tea there. Kind of stretch my stamping wings a little bit. I don't tend to gravitate towards sets like this. I don't really know why. It's just not, I guess it's just not something I really gravitate towards. I tend to like, I like all the flowers and kind of the camping ones, anything outdoorsy. We live in the Pacific Northwest. I think I said that. And camping, outdoorsy. I tend to gravitate towards those ones, but I thought this one was super cute. And like I said, I am stretching my stamping wings this year. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Let me cut another base. We'll do this card together. I'm going to grab a piece of thick basic white. If you do not have thick basic white in your cardstock supply, you should get some. So this card is, we're going to measure our base at 5.5 inches by 8.5, and we're going to score at 4 1/4. Anyway, the thick basic white cardstock is fabulous to have on hand. I actually love a white background, so for me, it's perfect. Then we're going to score at 4 1/4. Just line it up here. This darker cutting blade, let me scooch down here. We're gonna move this out of the way. The darker one is your cutting blade. I'm using the Stampin' Trimmer from Stampin' Up. The light gray one is your scoring blade. So I like to often just come up and then back down. Just that easy. Oops. It's very dark outside today. I know it's only 3 in the afternoon, and if you live in a sunny area, you're probably thinking, what do you mean it's dark out there today? But I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it is the beginning of February. So we are one gray cloud and gray day and rain after the next. All right, that is just that easy. That's our card base. We're gonna do some stamping to start. I wanna start with some simple stamping because I'm going to be using my Memento Black Tuxedo Blank. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I can't talk today. Tuxedo Black ink. And we're going to be using that to stamp. And I want to make sure that ink is dry before we start coloring on it. So I am using, let me show you this stamp I'm using. I'm using this one here in the little floaty, just because I'm casing the catalog. So I want to give that a nice little stamp in this memento. And we're also going to stamp our greeting. My goodness. I tell you, have you ever had those days where you feel like you just cannot talk? That's me today. So anyway, I will have everything blogged for you. So in case you want to case the catalog and make this card, so just down and straight up, okay? I'm gonna move that out of my way. And I think I want to do my sentiment in sweet sorbet. And the sentiment I am using is, a silly goose told me it's your birthday. I always need lots of birthday cards. So you'll have to let me know what you think of this card. I think it's going to be cute. I like the one in Balmy Blue. But since I said we were casing the catalog, I decided that we were going to go ahead and I'm going to get it as close to possible as I can. So I'm going to let this just sit for a side. Then we're going to come back and do some coloring. So when I looked at this picture, and you'll have to tell me what you think, that looked like so saffron to me. So that's the color I grabbed. And it is cut at 2 inches by 4 inches. And they cut this bottom part on an angle. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to cut it on an angle. Oops, wrong way. We want it to go up. So we want it to look like a little flag. So I am putting this corner here right in the bay, you know, right in the track, and then just eyeballing it as I do everything. And, you know, I don't like how that turned out, so we're going to eyeball it a little bit more. Isn't that how I always do? Let's just take, yep, I like that better. I just wanted it a little bit more on an angle. So there's that. As we're coloring, and I'm going to take this tag. We're going to make our tag. Oops, sorry, am I putting shadows there every time? I have a little light over here, like I said. So I want to kind of come right above that sentiment. And I want to come just down here again. Oh, cute. You know, I think I want just another... Oh, everyone hold their breath. I'm going to try and do this even a little bit closer. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, now that's too close. We're going to restamp that. We're going to restamp that. See, you know, that's what happens. That's just what happens sometimes. So we're just going to restamp it. Fortunately, I have a whole craft room of, I'm going to stamp close to the bottom here, I think, and just trim off that top. There we go. You know, when you have a whole craft room full of supplies, it's not I don't panic easily anyway. Not that you would, oops, sorry about that. Not that you would ever panic over a card. Anyway, I want to put this, I think, facing this way to make sure I get it in the track the way I want to. I'm going to scooch it a little bit more, make sure I'm nice and even, and we're going to call that good. Okay. Now, same thing. I'm gonna put this in the track, go like that. I'm gonna flip it around just like that. And we're gonna do the same thing. Let's see here. See how that turned out. Oh, that's cute. That's exactly what I wanted. All right, so while we still wait for our other piece, I am going to grab that sweet sorbet again and a sponge dauber. If you don't have a sponge dauber, you can use the end of, we're going to be using these blending pens. You could use a blending pen. You could use the blending brushes, anything. But I want to give this just a little highlight of color that matches right around the edge here, just so it's not so stark. And that's all I'm doing, is just gently taking the sponge dauber and going right along the edges. And when I put that down against something white, you can see it just highlights that sentiment a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna tuck this piece off to the side, and that'll be perfect. Now we're gonna visit, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about some of the specials and do some coloring. So let me grab my markers here. I grabbed out the ones I thought I'd need. This is just the top of a box that I keep my cards in. And it's how I keep my markers from rolling off the table while I am sitting here coloring with you. So I am going to use the light gray granite because I think that will work out really well for my goose. I think that's the one I used before. Let me see. Yep. Even though our, geese are white, even though they're white, I want to add just a little bit of shadowing around her. Let's just give her a little bit of shadow here. I don't want a bunch, just a little bit to define and make her look like she has a little bit of color to her. I think even when your image is white, maybe just add a little bit for definition. What do you think? Do you color your white images? I almost went with a little wink Estella on her and really fancied her up. But then I said, no, I'm just gonna use I'm just gonna use this light gray granite and give her a little bit, just a little bit of highlight there, not a bunch. Then I thought, well, okay, let's do her floaty and her flowers. Let's make these dots. Let's keep our sweet sorbet color. But you know what? I don't have a sweet sorbet marker. I thought I did, but I don't. So I thought, well, I have blender pens, and blender pens work fabulous. So I'm going to show you a trick. We're going to take our little block here, and we're just going to tap it right on top there. Excuse me. I'm going to close up my ink pad because I certainly don't want to be sticking my elbow in it. Let me grab another little sip of tea. Oh, thank you. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sick. Anyway, so blender pens work fabulous. I'm going to take a little bit off, just a little bit. I just want to pick up a little bit of color. And I'm going to start with our dots here, our little polka dots. That is one thing I do love, is anything with a polka dot. I love a polka dot. So, and this will match our background that we're putting on the card. We haven't gotten to that part yet, but we will. Okay, so how easy is that? So just with these blending pens, and you will find these in the annual catalog, you can pick up any color. It's nice to have all the blending pens, but sometimes we just don't have them. I'm gonna come up here to her hat and do her flowers in her hat. So we have to use our other craft supplies. And these blending pens are quite inexpensive. I forget what they are, but I know they're inexpensive. So they're great to have in your stash to pick up that little bit of color. And you can see, I want a little bit of difference. So you can see how great just picking up on this block, how easy that was. You don't want to rub real hard with these, and the reason why is because it will pill your paper. To clean them, this is all you do. Honestly, this is it. Until it comes clean, it'll stain, but until it comes with no ink, and do it on the side because you don't want to ruin the tip. That's it. That's as easy as blending pens get. Okay, so now I have that. Let's go ahead and bring in our dark So Saffron and add a little bit more color. So I'm going to do her band on her hat. I'm going to do her beak in So Saffron. And we are going to do her floaty. Again, oh, I want which one? I wanted the light one for the floaty. Again, use the side of your blending pen. And I'm going to show you why. So this is, you can see this one looks really nice. Somebody borrowed mine and you can see it's a little frayed on the end, which is okay. It still works. But kind of use the side of it a little bit and then you don't have that problem. So Celebration is ending on February 20 month. Oh my gosh, where does the time even go, right? Like, oh my gosh. And if you are not familiar with Stampin' Up or the joining special they have going on now, there's 3 different ways to join. They are all amazing with lots of free product. And you get to choose the product you want. Stampin' Up does not pick it for you. So it is a fabulous time to join. I would love to sponsor you and be your team member. And more importantly, there really isn't any selling involved. I do this because number 1, I have the time. And number 2, I just really like it. So for me, this is fun. Okay, so there's a little piece here that I want to just kind of go under this with the bullet tip and just shade a little bit more. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so, oh, you know what? I keep wanting to put this one away and I haven't gone in and filled in the inside of the flowers yet. All right, so I really like this mossy meadow color. And maybe it's because I am from the Pacific Northwest and we're kind of used to these kind of, you know, darker greens. Anyway, and I am just going to touch that up. And then I'm going to bring this into the little frog here. You could use old olive. I went with mossy meadow. But I think old olive, if that's what you have, would also work out really well. And again, as I said, if you have the blending pens, the blender pens, those work great. I kind of want to find those in the annual catalog for you, but my annual catalog's not close. I'll link it to the blog post. I'll link them to the blog post. Okay, so now I'm a petal pink person, and it also coordinates with that country gingham paper that I showed you earlier. So let's do her hat in this beautiful petal pink. Oh, so pretty. She's looking all fancy, isn't she? She's looking all fancy. All right, and one more thing. So when you use my host code and you place an order of $35, this month's gift is the solid faceted gems. And if you place $50 or more, then you get the a 4-card tutorial too. I think that's all the housekeeping I have. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the Balmy Blue. And I'm going to just give this a little go here. There we go. And I'm going to come underneath these waves. And then we're really going to color. And you'll have to tell me when we're done how you think I did casing the catalog. I think it's so much fun to start out that way. Then as the week goes on and I play around with the set more, I can kind of come up with my own ideas. Oops, I just got myself with the tip of that. I hope I don't get it on the card. Anyway, but, you know, it's a good way for me to start out. And then as the week goes on, and because I always focus on one stamp set for the week. And then as the week goes on, then the ideas start to flow. And I can kind of come up and design my own cards. All right. How cute is she? You have to tell me. She is so cute. I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine because we're going to cut her out. All right, she may, let me see here. Let me see if this one will work. It should. Yep, it'll work just great. So part of the joining special is you can get this in you can get it in white or in boho blue, depending on which joining special you choose. And I don't have the boho blue one, and I'm really trying to decide, should I get it or not? I'm trying to justify it. My husband keeps saying, oh, Colleen, you have so many crafts, you're fine. But then I always say, but Kevin, I'm going to take a little bit off of this so I can use the mini. It just works better in the camera. Let's see if this will work. If not, I'm going to have to lug out the big one. Oh, that'll be fine. Okay. These are the stylish shaped dies. I want a little bit of white down there. That's how they have it in the catalog. So I want a little bit of white. I've got her nice and set up there. I'm going to press this down and hold it in place. And the reason I put the silicone craft sheet underneath is it tends to hold this mini on plate, or this mini on the table. So, because this is actually just a piece of paper that makes it look like a hardwood desk, because my desk is this beautiful, fun green color. My husband bought it for me, but it doesn't photograph well. So this is just one of those pieces of, you can get it at a big box store. All right, how about we put our card together? Okay, so we have our card base. Don't forget, 5.5, 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of this beautiful gingham paper, just gorgeous, and I cut this at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And we have our So Saffron piece, which is going to come over here. You know, yep, I used a different pattern this time. So the catalog uses actually this pattern. I cut this pattern. I think it's going to look fine. I say we roll with it. Okay, so then this is going to go here like that. And then we're going to put a ribbon behind, and she is going to sit up like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere this, and I'm going to use some multi-purpose glue. So this mint color is one of my favorites, so it is almost painful for me to put glue on it and glue that side down. Oh, do you all have your favorites? I do. I have my favorites. So I wanted this one cut to where it almost covered the entire card base. There we go. How cute is that? Oh, we're going to have to scooch it up a little bit. Nice thing about this multi-purpose liquid glue, the reason I use it for card bases is that, I might have grabbed the wrong piece, but it fits on there really well. So this one covers almost all of the white. On this one, it is the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Pick whichever one you like. Anyway, let's go ahead and glue this piece down. I'm telling you, live videos in me, because I don't edit my live videos. What you see is what you get. So, me and live videos, I have to tell you. All right, there we go. So Saffron, there we are. Okay, so this is the variegated ribbon, and it's in the balmy blue color. How pretty is this? Can you see? Can you see a little bit of the color there? I think it's so much fun. All right, let me grab some Stampin' Seal, because I want to place this, but I really want to make sure I have a good hold on it. So this is actually the Seal Plus that I'm using. And I am going to take this right off of the spool, because all we're doing is making a loop, right? That's all we're going to do. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to fix it first. And then I am going to take it. Since this is on the inside, I want to take this piece like that. I'm going to bring it up here, make a little loop, and I'm going to actually bring my seal back in, put a little bit here right next to it, so I can bring this down. I just think this ribbon is so pretty. And I'm going to stop it right about there. Let me grab my ribbon scissors, which I know are close by because I've been in this room. So let me see here. And the ribbon scissors never actually leave the room, so there we go. Let's get this one just a little bit more of an angle up without getting my finger there. Oh, that's a terrible cut. Look at that. That was terrible. Let's try that again. Much better. Much, much, much better. If you have any questions, please leave me your questions at the end and I will be happy. Just drop me a question. And, I want to move this over just a hair. Let's see here. I think I want the whole thing maybe. No, just this part. Just leave me a question. I'm happy to answer it. I love answering everybody's questions. So leave a question or a comment. Happy to answer. There we go. I just wanted that a little bit different. A little bit higher, I think. Oh, nope. Bring it back down. My goodness, I'm going to fuss around with this ribbon like you would not believe. All right. We're going to call that good and grab some dimensionals. I could fuss around with ribbons all day long. Okay, and we're going to use 5 here. Nobody likes a smooshy card when they get it in the mail. We want it to look the same when we send it out. We want it to look the same when they get it. And then we're going to take these little tags off the back. Just this easy, so easy. And we're going to pop her right down. I am just not happy with this ribbon, folks. We're going to have to come back and do it again. I need more. I need more ribbon here. It's got to be longer. That was not enough. Not enough for me. So that'll stick, and let's go ahead and go like this. And then let's put some more, and then we're going to trim it afterwards. I'll use that little bit on something else. That was not enough ribbon for me. Couldn't do it. I tried to forge ahead, but I couldn't do it. Let me see. A little bit more down. Okay, I'm gonna bring that down a little bit more, and we will fuss around getting that in the right spot when we're done. All right, now that makes me much, much happier. We're gonna pop her up here. Look at this, with just a little bit of that blue or yellow and the blue ribbon. There we go there. Ta-da. Now let's trim our ribbon. Now I'm happier. All right. That looks better to me. What do you guys think? I think it looks better anyway. Now, I have these fabulous in color dies, the dots. 2022, 2024 in color matte dots. And I want to use the Sweet Sorbet. Little dots here to dress her up even more. And I'm going to use the little ones here. I'm going to pop one there. And we're going to pop one right here. Just like that. Oh, I lost it. I'm using the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool. So this is also one of those crafting. Oh, there it is, for heaven's sakes. Look, it did get down there. It just went in the wrong spot. Well, let's move it. Let's see here. Let's just pop this one up there. And this is today's card. Just that simple. Stamp a little. If you don't want to put a base on this one here, I made another card base. And I used a little bit of this extra cardstock down here. I would suggest doing that, and I don't adhere mine until I write on them. If you choose to just go ahead and write on the inside and save paper, also a great idea. But add a little stamp or another something on the inside. Oh, you know what? I set aside our tag and I forgot to put it on. So how about we do that real quick? I am going to, here I thought I was all done. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right along here. And then I'm going to grab a mini dimensional because we don't need the big one. We want a mini dimensional. I think I've done this on my last 3 videos thinking I'm done. And it's like, nope, just kidding. Not done. And I want to put this right here. And then it's your Silly Goose told me it's your birthday. I think I'm going to tuck another dimensional. I can, oops. Don't want to do that. Oops. So there's Lucy, our lab, which means my husband must be walking in the door. He gets home around this time on Mondays. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Here, let's pick this up a little bit. Here we go. It's going to look great. No one's ever going to know. well, just everyone watching is going to know, but nobody else, whoever's getting it won't. So you can see by adding that little bit with the sponge dauber and the ink to the side of our tag, gave that a little bit more pop instead of just the white. I did it here with the Balmy Blue. So we have Sweet Sorbet and we have Balmy Blue. You're going to have to let me know. Let me move that out of the way. You're going to have to let me know which one you like better. Oh, hey, Jan. Thank you. I like the ribbon too, but boy, it sure gave me a fit getting it on there, didn't it? Anyway, so Silly Goose stamp set. This is the year, like I said, I am stretching my crafting wings and I am buying sets that I normally wouldn't to try some new and fun things. And I hope you stretch your crafting wings too and maybe think outside the box, maybe pick up a set you think, I'm not totally sure about, but let's give it a try because that's exactly what I did here. And I actually love this card. So let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And please, please, please join me Thursday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time over on Facebook. I love when you all join me. Okay, thanks so much. Have a great day.